everybody. Welcome. Hello. I guess we look at this we got two special Can you hear me? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Queen Mimi Podcast, or another edition of our Sunday Positivity Talk. We hope that everybody is doing good. Of course, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. Okay, so this is what your genius person did, you guys. And actually, this might be a good thing. I've never done this before, so it's kind of going to be like a talk show vibe today because we have two special guests on. We have a lovely sister we're about to talk to in a minute, and another brother we're going to bring on after our first segment. So this first young lady, I want to introduce her properly. I love her mission. It's to help women who are ready to stop seeking validation. Say that again. Ready to stop seeking validation from literally anyone and everyone outside of themselves, just to feel like a whole person again. If you are so ready to go all in on yourself and no longer be codependent and tailored to not feeling enough, if you are willing to go all in and are open to learning something that could be life changing, then allow this young lady, Miss Sasha Greenridge, about to bring home in a second, help you. And y'all know, for those that have seen our show, we always say everything starts with you. Self-love, self-esteem, self-acceptance, whole nine yards. That's why I say I love her mission so much. She is the owner and runs and controls the inner self guide of Sasha's Essentials LLC, a BA in psychology, and most important, been a special education educator for 20 plus years, and is a certified Ignite mindset coach. So we're gonna go ahead and bring her on. I'm gonna start running my mouth. Hello, Miss Sasha. How are you this morning?
Very well, very well. I'm like, as you're going, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I get all that in. Did I get that good?
Yes.
That's good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well. Very well.
Good to hear. So I just pretty much gave the big introduction, so I'm gonna shut up. Let you have the floor. Tell everybody who you are, you know what you do, what got you into it. I was just reading and I'm very impressed because that's something that I struggle with. It's something I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
We all do, and we all do. What's funny is when we have these plans that we make, and we've all heard the thing where you make plans and God laughs. And so I was actually trying to, as she told you, I was an educator for 20 years, but not always financially helpful. So I went to do network marketing. That was a struggle. So I myself got a coach, ended up getting in the whole mindset coaching business because she had opened up her own coach school. And it's funny how God brings you back to kind of where you're supposed to be. And I've been doing that ever since, and just really going in there, really focusing on women, and just trying to get them to stop seeking everywhere else. We're always seeking and trying to find the next person or thing that we can compare ourselves to or strive to be, and everything is inside. It seems like it's a cliche. It seems like it's something that is, it's just something you say, but everything is inside you. So what I use these tools called the Gene Keys that basically shows you what your shadows are, your gifts are, and what they call your city, your highest potential. So no matter what race, religion, whatever you are, this is your inner potential, and what you have, almost like a map of where it is that you can go and who you can be. So.
Yes, and that was something we were saying that we struggle with as well,
Yep.
and we always say on the show, like, it starts with yourself. And so many of us, how can I say, were taught wrong.
It's a lot of unlearning now. And that's what a lot of it is. I think what happens when you are younger is that I was very weird. It's very
Yeah,
quirky, but I
same
had
here.
imagination and I had creativity and all of that little by little. And everybody means well. They want to all keep us safe. You know, we all want to be kept safe. And so what people do is they begin to just chip away at, oh, you know, that's not really going to make you money in the future, or oh, that's not really attainable, you're not really good at that, instead of allowing people to fall. Like I learned through, and it literally is in my design, like I have to fall and trip a couple of times. I'm sure most people do, but this is my design. A lot of stuff might not come as natural to me. And so I have to like kind of mess up a lot and to get to where I'm going. But when I do, it's bliss, it's success,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and everybody's gonna fall down and mess up, and
Hmm.
you can go through your whole life. Well, I want to be this. I want to be beauty pageant. I want to be actress. I want to be author or whatever. I know me, like I want to do a pageant when I was in school, and my dream was crushed by my mother.
Yeah.
So for years, I struggled with like even opening up, about
Yeah.
something like that and just saying, I want to be a musician. I want to be a model, which we did eventually get into. But
Yeah.
it took years, and even then, still struggle with the self confidence because we rely so much on others to, yeah, go for it. Just do it instead of I'm gonna do this for me.
Yeah, and there is a way that's probably something, because that's your inner intuition
Mhm.
of something that you probably should have done. And I talk about her a lot because she's an amazing young lady, a client of mine, and she's 20 years old. And she has the same things. She wants to model, she wants to play basketball. And who the heck is it for anybody to tell her, no, you can't really do all that? Who's to say that she doesn't go and play basketball? Somebody sees her and says, oh my God, you would be a perfect model for Nike, a Nike ad or something like that. And now here she is modeling or doing something like that. And it literally is in her design. She's wondering why she's so frustrated, why she's not liked, why people undermine her all the time. And in her, like literally what we call your core four, what makes up 70% of who you are, she is a rebel with a cause, not without a cause, with a cause. Meaning she's supposed to be somebody that is not even in some of our arenas. She's supposed to be creating her own stuff. So who is it for me or anybody else to be like, yeah, you can't do all of that, right? And that's so soul crushing. And she is a young, thank God we met, so that way she can now just not be undermined, just like, you were saying with your mom. My mom has done that as well. A lot of people have just sat there and said, oh, you can't be an artist, or you can't do this. Go into something that's just going to kind of be the safe thing to do. And where am I? Like, I'm sitting here now, like, finally, thank God, found my purpose before, right up until 40. I'm 42 now. And then finally in a place where I'm comfortable in living that. And I'm
Right.
only looking at, you're doing something incredible right now. And the old me would have been like, man, I should do my own like I do want to do a podcast, but like, let's say like I would have been like, man, that's what I want to do. I should be doing that. That might not be in my design. That might not be
Yeah.
meant for me. And that's where people get stuck and wonder why they're failing. They're unhappy. They're with the wrong person. They're not practicing their religion or anything like that as much. And it's tragic. And that's women especially, because we live in a male dominated kind of world, with by their rules and their expectations. And also we do, unfortunately, as women, we do that to ourselves, and we're looking to each other. And the big caveat is not every woman has it together, and we are busy trying to be like, I want to be like her. And meanwhile, she is falling apart behind the scenes, and we don't know, right?
That is so true. We see it on social media, on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And we don't hate, Everybody has room to make money, do whatever they love, make their dreams come true. But we thought that it's up. I want to be like Beyonce. We just throwing names out there, or,
Yeah.
Cardi B or something like that. No, let me be like Queen Mimi. Let me be me. Screw what the world says. Let me be me. And we went, oh my God, if I could, years of defending ourselves and feel like we had to explain ourselves. Now I'm just like, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it the right way. I may not be in the same lane as the other person. That's okay. I may not be making money like the next person, but that's okay. This is what I love, and everything else. We feel like when you're genuine, you really real, it's gonna fall into place. It's not just gonna be the same path as a person next to you. Stay in your lane. What we all say, stay in your lane, right?
And it's amazing when I stepped into this, like being the person I was 5 years ago, would not have met you. I wouldn't have been ready to kind of be in your kind of aura and positivity of what you're doing, because I was so negative. I was so negative. There's so many people now like that, like it's crazy, exiting out stage left, and all these new amazing people are entering in my life, and connections that are coming in. And the greatest thing is when you start to study yourself. Like if I showed you your design, you get people, because we deep down, we do love ourselves, because we love to talk about ourselves. We love to share about ourselves. We love to complain about ourselves. So when we get something where we get to learn about ourselves and really dig deep into it, you're now only focused on you, and not in a selfish way. I really, I strongly dislike when people are like, oh, well, you got to worry about other people. You can't worry about other people until you're okay. You got to make sure your yard's clear first before you can help anybody else.
Anybody else, if you are not taking care of yourself, that's something we had to learn. I don't know how many times. And being a mother, I don't know if you have kids or not, but being a mother at 4, 2 are grown, so we kind of had to. Okay, they got us figure it out now. You've done your job, and we're still there if they need anything. So that's not a problem. But now it's really time, and we kind of dibbled a little bit, back and forth. But now, like we said, 2024 is going to be the year we're going to make some things happen. Your oldest 2 are grown. Your other 2 are okay. Still a mother, but like you said, it's not selfish. And that's how so many people, pretty sure you can relate, have tried to make me feel like, okay, now you're being selfish. You don't love your kids.
Old school stuff. Yeah. And it was just like, you don't, for anybody, any mom, you don't have to run yourself into the damn ground to be, oh my God, I'm a good mom. And you're just like over here, like, you don't have to. I got to a point with my daughter, and I put my hands up and I said, Mom, I need help. I was like, because I wanted to be everything for her at that time. And it's like, they're grandparents. That's what you're trying. If you're fortunate enough to have that, try take it, because you need that. And every time I needed to go out or to get my hair done or get my like, it isn't selfish. The best thing you could do for you, obviously, is to put yourself first. It's like putting they tell you on the plane, put your own oxygen mask on first. Always use that analogy. It applies in life. Put your own oxygen mask on first, because you can't help anybody. And I have to do that myself. Anytime in coaching someone too, I have to, if something's going on, I have to be like, okay, let me look at, and I look at my design, where my shadow is. And I said, okay, inertia, indifference, that's coming up for me. I cannot support this person right now. Get it under control. It's like talking to yourself. It's a little whatever, but you got to say what's coming up.
It's not weird. I do that every day. I literally like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Focus on you. We're going to take care of X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Whatever you can't get done, don't be hard on yourself, because that's a bad habit I have. I'm so hard on myself.
Do
what you can. And we have a lot going on, me and my husband right now, but we still, say positive things to each other. That's one of the things I love about him, and it helps. I don't even know if he knows, but it's like a mental conversation. It's like I'm standing in front of myself, sitting in the chair, like, okay, we are not going to be sad. We are not going to be depressed. We're going to be happy. It may not be what you want, but you're not where you used to be. So
and check in. And that's amazing to first check in with yourself and then check in with him and be like, where are you at right now? because we have, and I always say this when we're talking about boundaries with people, because people think it's what other people are supposed to do. But if I'm setting a boundary with my husband and I don't like something, it's what am I going to do? Because he's not going to change. He's a person with his own design, his whole other design and paradigms and all types of stuff. But you have to check in. We think we have like, I don't know if anybody remembers a phone book. I'm dating myself, but just think of a huge book of like War and Peace with all your expectations for yourself and everybody else, but only you know about it. And then you expect everybody to know this and to be some kind of psychic. We can't do that. So it's really important to communicate and to check in with people, because
Yeah.
that nobody has that manual, and nobody, even if they did, nobody's memorizing it and looking into your darn head and trying to figure out the mess, because it's probably a mess. Anyway.
I don't think that's the word, but you
So
might
we
hit
can't
that.
expect that. We can't expect that from people. So it's really important to first check in with yourself. How am I doing? Do I need to be coming at people like that? Do I need to be, somebody's triggering? Do I need to be around them today? We get to choose. I know people say we don't, but we do get to choose.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. You
Okay.
do.
Yeah. So
And one thing that pretty sure you probably can relate. One thing we had to do is separate ourselves from all the negativity. Get rid of
absolutely.
all the negative people that don't support, don't love us, and quite a few people, quite a
Yeah.
few people had to remove from our life. Um, didn't have a choice. That's
Yeah,
all.
what a weight
Didn't
though
have a
off
choice.
your
Yeah.
shoulder. And it's amazing how you hold on, you're holding on so tight. And then you kind of say, for what? What am I holding on to so tightly? It's like a big relief, because you have, it's typically when that happens, it's your expectation of somebody else.
Yep.
It's your expectation of what you want, or what their potential could be. And it's not your job to do that. It's really, it's, if everyone, that's why it's so important reconnecting back to you. You have to work on yourself. It's not my husband's job, as much as he sometimes wants to fix they can't. They can't. You can't fix anything. You can't, I can't fix you. I can't fix my client. What I can do is hold up this big mirror and say, oh, here's this, and this. What does that bring up for you? And then we can work through that. But it's not my job. I'm a guide. I'm a guide. It's the same reason God, everybody else doesn't step in. You have to learn.
Yep.
That's how you help yourself. That's how you help
Exactly.
yourself. You have to study you,
Yep.
and not what everybody else is doing. That always comes back around.
Oh yeah. I like how you use the word reconnect with yourself. That's something
Mhm.
that we had to do. What makes Manima happy? What do I want to do? What's gonna put a smile on my face? What path do I want to follow, choose? Where do I want to go?
Yeah,
And it's up to us. We
yeah, that
thought,
was hard. Were you able to answer that? Because when I had a coach, when I have my coach, and she first brought that up, I couldn't even answer. I couldn't even answer that. I didn't even know what it was that I want under all of my parents'
yep,
expectations, and then getting married and having my husband have expectations of me. And
yeah,
then even my kids to this day, we're kind of, it's like, I'm not super mom, like, like God forbid you get, but now learning this and teaching them this and helping them with their design, it's really important that it's a deeper kind of communication. But I just know, like, when somebody asked, what did I want? Like, oh my God, I don't know.
I I haven't been asked that often, so I never really had the time to think about it. But I was just asked that question about a month ago, and I talked to my husband a few weeks before that. So I running busy here to there so much, didn't really have the time mentally to sit down and think about it. It's just like it hit me one day, like I'm doing everything else for everybody else, my husband, my kids, and I'm not, at least not as much as I want,
Hmm.
doing a thing for myself. So came into this year with that mentality, but really in April, March was a little struggle, but coming into April, I was like, okay, enough is enough. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. We're gonna invest in it. We're gonna put time into it. I know I'm gonna be tired, but that comes with the whole territory. And what does my show? I love writing. I love music. I love things where I can express myself, even if it's down to doing my own nails. Anything that's creative,
Mm-hmm.
I can use my mind, my brain, and be individual. That's
Mm-hmm.
the main thing, being the best version of myself, loving myself. I don't washing my hair, shoot, just
Just little
yeah,
things. It's not always as big as
yeah,
you think, or like some big shopping spree. I think people,
yeah.
yeah, it's
I do
sometimes
shop.
it's
I
little
do.
things. I do too.
I do
So
shop.
for the people that are like, no, whatever, no, that is
I
that
used
is,
to do
but
shop
it
before the
doesn't.
week
It could
long.
be something as small as washing your hair, getting your nail. That's it for me. And or anytime I could get it done, because I my hairdresser all the time. She's like, "Get your butt in here." Like
Yes.
we're all on camera looking
Oh my
crazy.
God. I,
But
I I have to discipline myself with my hair, so I don't have it out now, but get back into it. So I'm going to work on growing out my real hair. And this is challenges I've set too, working on growing my
mhm.
nails. And this, like you said, small stuff. I do like to shop, but it's not about the money. It's
No,
not
it
about
is
the
not.
money,
No.
but it's the small things. Just like I think I told my husband probably a few times out of the month because I take Wednesdays off. I'm gonna just go to the park and sit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just look at the air and sun and weather permitting,
Mhm.
of course. The ocean because I love sitting by the ocean. And just small things. Take time to just relax, and it's small stuff with me.
Yeah.
And I don't know about a lot of people, but just that, just enjoying it. We rip and run so much, and we work so much, and put so much time and energy into unnecessary things. That's why we said had to cut people out of our life that weren't supportive and just reconnect. That's why I say I like that word so much. Just reconnect with myself and what I want. And it's not selfish. I thought that when my kids were babies, quick story, they were in school sometimes I would just go see a movie. I started feeling selfish because I didn't know better. Even going to get my nails because I was doing something for myself. But now I'm like, it's not selfish. That is so silly, and people put that in our brains like all we're ever supposed to be is a mother. You don't do anything else with your life, and some women are happy doing that, and that's okay. But me, I wasn't. I wanted to be more
Yeah.
than that, and I know I had something different, you as well, to offer. So
Mhm.
we had to explore and learn that,
Yeah.
and still doing that. So now this is where we
Yeah,
are now.
it's I
We
just
have work to do, and
it's so
yeah,
important. Right. It's important
yep,
to just plug back in. It just feels like I feel like as we went through life and everything else, it just like people were just unplugging. And I think when you're young, it's just that's when you were most connected to like
yep,
just to your soul and therefore like whatever, and that's where you're most connected. And I just think one by one we just everybody wants to conform to be like this one person, and we can't be like that. We have different things to offer, and it's like I can't help but think, what if we all finally just kind of connected back to ourselves, and then what, instead of bringing the fake and the this and the masks and everything else, what if we just brought our pure authentic self in, and what would we be bringing into society? Or you know
exactly,
it's amazing. It's completely different. It would be completely different, and honoring that difference and uniqueness and everything else.
exactly.
Striving for
Okay,
that.
so before we get out of here, Miss Sasha, tell us a little bit about your business again. What else you want people to know? This show is our Sunday Positivity Talk. If you don't mind giving a little word of, positivity, your social media, then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and get ready for our next guest.
I'll start with the positivity. I think it's really important that you reconnect back to you, whatever that looks like. That what Mimi was sharing was that it could be grounding. like the going to the beach, sitting quietly. I don't think a lot of people know how to do that before their mind goes crazy. Let the thoughts come in and out and things like that, but sit quietly and listen to you. We have too much external and outside influence that's coming in, and believe it or not, that is not what's going to make you successful. That's not going to be what makes you happy. Your soul is screaming at you for you to listen, and in order for you to do that, you need to be quiet. And studying yourself. That's what that looks like. It doesn't mean Zen moment all the time, but studying yourself. What I offer at Sasha's Essentials LLC is I offer one-to-one coaching. Use if people are comfortable using the Gene Keys, a bit of human design. I also just work with coaching as well if you're not comfortable with that, but it does able me to kind of act as a surgeon, so to speak, so that when you come with paradigms, issues, or things like that, I'm better able to laser focus on exactly what it is specifically unique to you, what's wrong. I am looking for like a sisterhood of group coaching for women. So any of you that are out there that maybe one-to-one isn't for you, but would like to do group coaching, I'm open for that. I'm looking for like 5 to 10 women, and heavily discounting that as being a founder of that specific group. I think everything else will be linked below, but oh my gosh, I had so much fun
Okay.
being here
Yeah.
today.
Is that something I can get in on? I would love
Yes,
to.
I
Yeah.
would. Yeah, and I absolutely. I'm just
Okay.
over the moon. I was like, I'm looking for whether one-to-one or group coaching, but
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm looking, I would love to get some women together because it's important that I guide people. But what I find, I'm also in a coaching group myself as a client,
Okay.
and I love learning from other women too. So we learn from our coach, but we're also learning from other women. And I really would like to get women together to
Okay.
do that. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Send me that information. Where can everybody
will
find
do. They can find me. I'm heavily on IG
you?
at
Okay.
Sasha_Harris_Greenwich. My website is coming soon. I'm on LinkedIn on Sasha Greenwich and Sasha Harris Greenwich on Facebook. And from there, if you connect with me there, I will send you over to a Facebook group, Safe Space for the Soul, where it's a place where you can kind of share without Uncle Sean, Uncle whoever putting their like 2 cents in, because
Gotcha.
you're putting something on there. I found it so annoying. Are you okay? Are you okay? No, I'm just putting something inspirational up. Like, I got tired of it. I decided to create a group for you could share whatever you want. And it's
Yeah.
private Facebook group.
Oh, that's
So I
nice.
do that as well.
So nice. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sasha, for coming on the show. Definitely send me that information. I enjoy having you on. You got to come back on. Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously, we gotta do this again. I'm actually gonna be doing something for mental health awareness soon, so I'm gonna be doing a panel as well. So I think I'm gonna reach out to you about that. I would love for
Absolutely.
you to come on and be a part of that. So we're definitely gonna be working on that before May. I believe that's next month, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Love your conversation, love your spirit,
Yes.
love your business. Anything we always offer that we can do to help, please feel free to reach out.
Oh, absolutely.
If you need a promotion or whatever, we like to help, however small, we
Yep.
possibly can. But
Absolutely.
thank you
Thank you.
so much. And what we're going to do, you guys, is take a break, and then we're going to bring our next guest, Mr. Duncan Brown, on, because we have 2 guests on this morning. So we're going to take a break, play some music, you guys. Miss Sasha, thank you once
Thank
again.
you.
Take care of yourself. We will definitely be in touch, and have a good
Absolutely.
Sunday. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, you guys, like we said, we will be back on the Queen Mimi podcast on another episode of our Sunday Positivity Talk. Y'all keep it locked. Okay, you guys, and just like that, we are back on the Queen Mimi podcast. Thank you to everyone once again for joining us on our Sunday Positivity Talk, you guys. Okay, so we have our second special guest of the day, Mr. Duncan Brown. Let's see here.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm all good. I'm all good. Yourself?
Doing good. Can't complain, man. Thank you for joining on, and thank you for your understanding as well.
That's all right. That's all right.
I like the little, is that a little lava lamp behind you?
That is Mathamos Telstar, the original and still the best lava lamp. Yes.
Okay, that looks very, very nice. So, you want to talk about recovering from alcohol today. Tell us a little bit about that. Who you are, where you're from, what you do. And we got about 25 minutes. Let's go.
Oh, 25 minutes is just on who I am. No. All right.
It's a lot.
The quick answer to who I am. My name is Duncan Baskram Brown. I live in Oxford. I live with one wife, one daughter, two bonsai trees. I like Morris dancing, which is a weird British folk dancing thing. And I like inline skating, or more precisely, I like falling off my inline skates. That's sort of me in a nutshell. What I do all day is I don't help people to stop drinking. I help them to start living. And the reason that I do that is because, well, yeah, as you said right at the get-go, you know, I had a bit of a brush with alcohol myself, and I managed to recover, and that brought so much energy and focus and joy and happiness into my life that really I just want to share that with people.
That's good. So, what made you decide to recover and, give it all up?
Well, you see, if you'd asked at the time, I would have told you that everything was brilliant and I was happy and it was all going really, really well. And to be honest with you, I was quite successful. You know, I'd had a fair bit of success in my life, and it was sort of, you know, from the outside, it looked very good, but I was pretty miserable. And I didn't feel like I was really, you know, living the life that I wanted to live. And I think in part as a reaction to that, my wife and we decided to start a family. And that was great and everything. You know, we got very excited. She got pregnant. You know, actually the getting pregnant bit was quite good fun as well. And, you know, we were very optimistic, slightly naive, like all new parents are. And it was all going along incredibly well until she had a miscarriage. And then everything pretty much fell apart. I mean, it was obviously really, really hard on her, you know, physically and mentally. But I think what made it a lot worse was I wasn't really there for her. And I only really knew one way to deal with stress, to deal with negative emotions. And that was just to disappear into a bottle of wine. And that obviously didn't really help her at all. And you know, I never had one of those moments when you're staring into the mirror at 4 a.m. questioning what it's all about. But I know there was a couple of months in my life where really I sort of wrestled with this idea, you know, what do I want from my life? I kind of wrestled with this question, and it never really formulated itself so neatly. But now I can see that what I was essentially deciding was whether I wanted another drink or whether I wanted to start a family. And the good news is, of course, I made the right decision. And almost exactly 9 months after I stopped drinking, our daughter was born.
That's nice. See, there's always the bright side. Everything had to learn that from experience, you know, works itself out. You know, I faced my share of addictions as well. And of course, no mental health. So we can definitely understand. And our condolences definitely. I couldn't imagine going through something like that. I can't even imagine what your wife must have went through. I know that had to be hard and very difficult to lose your child. So I am a mother myself. I definitely take my hat off to you guys. You know, y'all stuck it out. Seems like you look like you're doing a lot better. So that's a good thing. And, you know, life goes on. You learn to, how can we say, let go, and you don't just forgive yourself. And, you know, when you really want to, you know, you get it together. You get it right.
Yeah, that's certainly been my experience working with a lot of other people and interviewing a lot of the sober superstars. You know, it is we all kind of knew at the back of our mind that something needed to change. We all knew that we weren't really enjoying it. It almost required that moment of realizing that there was something bigger, that there was something more important, that there was something more enjoyable that we could strive towards. And yeah, absolutely. I feel quite well on it. The bonus of having my daughter is amazing. I mean, she's fantastic. In fact, I'll tell you a stupid story about her. The other day, I got her out of bed and just got her up and everything, and I'd put her on the sofa and I'd got her something to eat for breakfast, and she just turned around to me and said, "Daddy, you need to take Mummy's clothes off." And I was like, okay. And then I'd look round and there was some of my wife's clothes on the corner of the sofa. And what she meant was I needed to take the clothes off the corner of the sofa. So, yeah, I mean, having kids, it's worth it just for stuff like that, isn't it?
That's crazy, really. That's crazy. How old is she?
She was 8 about a week ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, bitch, I have 2 daughters myself, so I already know how much of a delight they can be. Actually, a grandmother now. Oldest daughter's 19, so I have 13-year-olds, so everybody's in the teens. So I'll say enjoy that while they are sweet and innocent. Because then they're gonna get to the age where they think they know more than you do. Baby girl isn't there yet, but it's coming. I think it's coming.
No, and I deserve it, to be quite frank, because when I was that age, I just thought I knew more than everybody else. So it's payback time, isn't it?
Yep, same here. And that's the same thing I did. And both of my daughters are just like me, like with the hard head, and we have to eventually come around. So I think I'm definitely, I know what you mean, getting my karma. So, so do you have a foundation or anything that you do when you connect with people?
So I do a couple of things. I do one-to-one work with people if they want to stop drinking and start living. We very much focus on that element of, it is not just about stopping, because to be honest with you, the stopping bit is actually fairly easy. For some people, it can get complex and a little bit medical, but for the vast majority of people that stop drinking, actually, they stop drinking without any serious kind of medical support. They don't do anything that's inpatient, even if they work with a counselor or a coach or with a support group. Most people don't have any medical assistance. So actually, the stopping drinking bit is fairly straightforward. What's difficult is staying stopped, because that involves engaging with life. And I think a lot of us, the reasons why we drink are quite complicated and quite wide ranging. There's a lot of people drink because of childhood trauma, things that happened to them in the past that they've been unable to process. They've not really ever found the security and the support to process those emotions. Then you get a lot of people who sort of drink fairly normally, like all of their friends do, until something happens in their adult life. That could be a divorce or a loss of a partner or a child or a parent even. It could be the loss of a job or a business. It could just be a car accident or a serious accident of some form. But that's what kind of pushes them over the edge, and their drinking escalates from there. And then there's another group of people who started drinking for really quite a wide variety of reasons that you can't nicely sum up, but then they don't tend to be related to trauma. They tend to be related more to things like social anxiety. You just want to get to a group of people. If all of your friends are drinking, then you are likely to drink. And if you start drinking earlier and you're exposed to it more at a young age, you have more chances of developing a problem. So that's the way it was for me. It was all about fitting in. I didn't really think I had a place in life. So that's what alcohol offered me. But whatever the reason that you start, there is always something that you're trying to escape from, whether that's emotional pain or just the fact that your life isn't quite as you'd like it to be. And unfortunately, when you stop drinking, that's the kind of thing that you have to start engaging with and you have to start dealing with.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why a lot of people turn to alcohol and drugs. You know, it's easier than dealing with, other people. Fought through that as well, and drugs as well. Was around the wrong people and got addicted to that, and I started noticing the weight loss, the depression, the sadness. It kind of masks what you're going through. It doesn't really get rid of it. That's why I love, what you're saying so much, because start living. You said living life. When you get off of that, that's what you're gonna have to do. Interact with other people and, find out what you love, who you are, reconnect. That's what our first guest we had on. We were talking about that mainly, reconnecting with yourself and, living. You get one chance. And I've been through childhood trauma myself, child abuse, domestic violence, all that, foster care system. So I know, trust me. So especially when you don't deal with it properly or in a healthy way, as we like to say, you can fall into the wrong crowd, fall into the wrong things. And sometimes it's never our intention. It never is. But, we all have a story, believe it or not, our own path. And some of us, we build houses with the bricks that were thrown at us. And some of us, it takes a little longer. So, it's not really a competition. So we can definitely relate. It's hard, the mental and just like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? So on and so forth. So I love that. I definitely love that. So what was I want to be sensitive other than losing the baby, of course. What was the turning point for you, as far as wanting to live your life?
Well, see, the thing is, I think, if you look from the outside, you would say, oh yeah, Duncan, he had it made. I mean, I'm a very lucky guy. I had I didn't have the perfect childhood. I struggled at school, but I basically had a pretty good childhood, loving, supporting parents. I had all of my material needs met, most of my emotional needs met. So I did very well, and I had a job. I was in a relationship. I had a lot of friends, very involved in my community. So I had a lot of the things that should be, filling my life full of joy. But the thing was, I didn't really enjoy any of them, and I think that's the real subtlety of alcohol and any other drugs, is that often we use them to numb the pain, but they don't selectively numb emotions. They don't only numb the bad stuff, they end up numbing the good stuff as well. So you end up just going through life in a very kind of bland way. Yes, you don't have to put up with the lows, or at least you can push them off to the side most of the time, but to do that you lose the highs. So I wasn't really enjoying any of the success that I had. I wasn't really enjoying any of the stuff that I was doing, and also it wasn't really me. It was me trying to fit in again and try to live up to the expectations that other people had from me. And therefore, when I stopped drinking, I found a way to kind of really, focus on my purpose and realize who I was and what I'm good at, and do that. And that's been enormously liberating.
It's very freeing when you start to discover that, when you stop putting so much energy into other people and put it into yourself. It's like a weight. So we definitely understand. Definitely. How long have you been doing helping others with their addiction?
So I started working at the world's most successful stop smoking clinic about 6 years ago, and it's been a bit of a journey since then. And I've just become more and more obsessed with stuff. But to kind of like circle back to that point about how important purpose is. I mean, there are plenty of people who would probably look at you funny if you said, what I want to spend my Sunday morning doing is recording a live, podcast with people. People would say that's insane. That's hard work. Why are you doing that on a Sunday morning? Just relax, have the day off, kind of thing. But actually, I'm guessing, like me, you don't really find it work. You find it enjoyable. And that's the truth, that as soon as I kind of uncovered my purpose, then none of it started feeling like work. I read a lot of dull, boring, scientific, academic journal papers with lots and lots of confusing words in them, which most people would think was a nightmare. But I genuinely don't consider it work. It's just great. It's just increasing my store of knowledge so I can help people more. So I think that's what it is for me, you know, like drilling down into my purpose and you know, fulfilling the aims that I reckon I was put here to fulfill. Then that's just made everything much more fun.
That's beautiful. That's a very beautiful thing. Like we said, when you discover that, and we all, like we said, some take longer than others. As long as you move in the right direction, that's always a good thing. But that's something, especially this year, we've been working on as well. Happiness, peace, separating ourselves from anything. Biggest thing for me that reminds me of my past or anything I may potentially fall into, I stay away from and just focus on myself now. I have 4 children, 2 are grown and 2 are on the way. So now I just kind of put my hands up, still here. But what do I love to do? What makes me happy? What makes me Nima happy? Let's focus on that, invest in it, put work in. We all know you're going to be tired, of course, but put work in and, you know, see what the results will be. So that's very beautiful. So, any words of positivity you would like to share before we get out of here? Tell everybody where they can find you at and anything else you want to share.
Yeah, so the thing that I really I wish I could get across to everybody in the entire world is, you know, that you are enough. You don't need things like alcohol and drugs and cigarettes and junk food. You never have. You actually have inside you everything that you need to live a healthy, happy, fulfilling, enjoyable life. And that's the one thing that I'd really love everybody to realize. You are enough. In fact, it's the central message of, I've just ruined it now, haven't I? It's the central message of my first book, Get Over Indulgence, which, you know, if anybody wants to grab a copy of, it's very easy to do. Just put getover.uk into the internet. That's getover.uk. And that will take you to a bit of my website. You can then download that book as a Kindle PDF, or if you can stand listening to me for 3 hours and 45 minutes, you can get the audio book as well. And that getover.uk is actually just a part of my website. So if you want to find out anything more about the work we do, you can find us there. I'm also pretty busy on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook and, you know, all of the usual places. The LinkedIn stuff is more around alcohol and business, but Facebook and Instagram are all about, you know, getting sober and staying sober.
Definitely. So can you send me the link for your book?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just getover.uk, but I will send it send it to you.
Yeah, we like to try to support however possible. And like I said, we love people's platform, especially one like yours that, you know, has positivity. And one of the things we love as well is people take their trauma, if you will, what they've been through, and instead of using it to hurt others, they use it to help other people. So that's one of the things that we love. And we try to do that with our show as well. You know, it's Sunday Positivity Talk, so we definitely love that. So we can, you know, help put that on our social media as well. As you guys can already see, our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Queen Mimi Podcast. And thank you so much, Duncan, for coming.
No, look, I mean, thank you. It's such an important message, isn't it? That you can take positivity from the dark times. I think, you know, that you can never say that too much. So, hey, everybody out there, you know, like and subscribe and help the lady do some more of the good work.
Yes. And before we get out of here, I want to say I actually have a hoodie that says "You Are Enough" on it. And every time I wear it, I always get a compliment. I promise, because you are. The world is a better place with positive, loving people in it. We don't have enough of that. So I just figured just put that on. I found it on TikTok actually, and just put that on and, you know, just spread it. I don't care how small. Everybody's going through something right now. We need more compassion, understanding, and, you know, realizing people, they're facing their struggles. So that's why we love doing things like this. So like I said, we don't think of ourselves as anything special, unique, or whatever, but we don't see it enough. So I think that's the biggest thing. We don't see it enough, and we have to do so much better. So we definitely like to encourage and support as much as possible. We're a small show. We ain't no big talk show or whatever, but we still like to connect with people like yourself. And, like we always say, do what you love to do. Screw the world. Be yourself. I wonder if it's a t-shirt or a hoodie with that. Screw the world. Be yourself. Because everybody's going to have an opinion, no matter what you do. I don't care how good you're doing, how bad you're doing. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And it's so crazy. But our advice, well, y'all know how we do. Do what makes you happy. Make it mean something to you.
Yeah, I completely echo that. You have my 100% support.
Yeah, but thank you so much again for coming on. Thank you for the understanding. I think I said at the beginning to show you guys, double booked myself for today, but wanted to keep my word and bring both guests on. So thank you guys so much. It's been so crazy. And now I looked, I was like, oh my God, I think I double booked myself.
Yeah, well, it's just an extra bonus for the listeners, isn't it? So
it actually worked out. So I think I may be doing this again in the future. So
you accidentally double book yourself again. That's a great idea.
It was okay. That's what we try not to do. I don't even know, but I was laughing. I was like, well, just message him and just be like, thumbs okay, we all good. I was like, oh my God. Because I contacted Sasha first. She was on here. And then you hit me up and I was like, I didn't book it. Yes, I did. And so you can laugh about stuff like this. Normally I would have been like, you idiot, and beat myself up. So we are definitely improving. Definitely.
And ultimately, it is better to be double booked than not booked at all, isn't it?
So, yeah. That's always a good thing too. But what we said, you guys can follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna go ahead and get our social media and play some music and get out of here. And of course, you can catch us on our Sunday Positivity Talk live each and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time by ourselves. Or we will have lovely guests such as our friend right here, Mr. Duncan Brown, sharing their story, overcoming adversity, struggle. Just started that. Cool. And we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, you guys. Thank you once again, Duncan. Get out here and get to work. You guys enjoy your Sunday. Stay safe, and you stay safe as well, Mr. Duncan. Send me that link for the book, and I guess a photo, whatever you're comfortable with, and we'll put it on our social media when we promote the show. So we'll definitely try to help.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, play some more music, and we're going to get out of here. Y'all stay safe.